So I'm going to be taking a few minutes. My voice is a bit raspy from a cold, but bear with me if you would. So my comments are broken up in little bullets. So the first bullet is that, and I think you may know that this is a project that has been out there for at least 10 years. And it's not going to live or die with the proposed Metro bond slated for November of 2020. Second, this project has been discussed extensively by many committees over a long time. Without going too deep into it, most of the councilors belong to a number of committees. We spend an inordinate amount of time going to committees that have nothing really specific to do with our city councilor duties. And so in that case, this is my third year in council. I pretty much took over Councilor Goodman's committee, and he had been on the committees for the last, I don't know how many years, 5 or 6 years. And those would be the Metro committees, MPACT and JPAC, and the county committees and the way they intersect, and so forth. And Councilor Goodman still attends, by the way. The point being that in all those times, and we have spent, trust me, a lot of time talking about this, no one, including Jeff Goodman, or when it's been my turn as a member, have had a word adverse to say about this bridge as a concept. But as you pointed out, and well, that the devil is in the details, right? And as an aside, I have brought up with both the mayor as well as our city manager that one of the things we need to do is to have debriefing to each other, and because you can watch it, information to you about what is going on all these committees, so that this sort of, I never heard of this, can be at least ameliorated. So we're going to be working on that. The third thing is that I'm sure there were some emails that went through that I didn't get to read, but I actually read for days now multiple emails, and all of them had some truth. There was not a one that was frivolous. And so the question is, do opposites, can they be true at the same time? And of course they can. So in trying to decide, I think for me, and I actually stole this concept from Judge Sonia Sotomayor, who said everything depends on context, right? So briefly, let me just say that the context that you brought up and the context that are in my brain, I think bridges are aesthetically very cool. I work about 2 miles from the St. John's Bridge. I'm a biker. I did a century in New York City a few years back going through the 5 boroughs. I did STP. I'm a walker. I used to run marathons, but my left arch collapsed, so that's out. I'm a resident of Lake Oswego, and I too want peace, I want safety, and I want beauty. I'm also a commuter. I commute to North Portland virtually every day, and I go through 2 of the 5 worst choke points in the state at least twice in that commute. I'm a firm believer in climate change, and I want fossil-free transit as soon as possible. But mostly, I'm a human being. And I know you're human beings. I just know it. I have family, and it includes all my 6 grandchildren that are on the east side of the river. Are you telling me that you don't have people on the other side of the river, or that you don't want them to come over and help you? LO is in the Cascadia subduction zone and the Portland fault zone. a 6.8 earthquake, and we're at all high risk. We live in a bowl with 3 sides that doesn't have a direct access out to the east. So I personally believe our community safety is at stake. And when it happens, as we've been told time and again, when it happens, we're all going to need to help each other. The east is going to have to go to the west, and the west is going to have to go to the east. So my bottom line is the details of the bridge do seem vague and not very well thought out. And I think that is why there's so much confusion, and it's evidenced by a lack of communication and coordination, and that, to me, this evidence is why we need an engineered feasibility study. This is what I support. We need a harder look at location, design, and cost. How can it possibly be that some people are saying it's going to cost $20 million, other people say, no, it's $60 million. What does it cost? Doesn't that matter? It does. Where and why we want it, those have to be hammered out. So to be in closure, I say let's not be distracted by shiny objects. We obviously need mobility and safety options, and in order to determine when, where, and what, we need more study. And I support more study.